Right now, there is someone you have not fully forgiven. You do not think about them every hour, but when their name comes up, something tightens. A sentence you rehearsed years ago replays in your head, word perfect, as if you just wrote it. You know exactly what they did. You know exactly what it cost you. That tightening is not a memory. It is a biological event, and it is happening on a schedule your nervous system set without asking you. The loop this video will close. Why does the body keep paying for something the mind already understands? You know the moment. You are fine, genuinely fine. Then someone at dinner mentions a name, or you drive past a place, or a particular song comes through a speaker in a shop. And something shifts below the level of thought. Your jaw tightens just slightly. Your breath shallows by one increment. A familiar inner monologue starts. Not the full story, just the headline. The version you have distilled it to over years of quiet rehearsal. You are not choosing this. It arrives complete. And it feels like justice almost. Like the body is keeping a record because someone should. Here is what nobody explained about that moment. The person who hurt you is not in your body. You are. The stress response activating right now, the cortisol, the elevated blood pressure, the narrowed attention, that is happening in your tissue, not theirs. The record your body is keeping has you listed as the debtor. This is called the unforgiveness response. The researcher who named and measured it with precision is Fred Luskin, a psychologist at Stanford University, and the work came through his Stanford Forgiveness Project, which began in the late 1990s. Luskin's early studies were not designed to produce dramatic results. He was working with people carrying ordinary-sized grievances, not catastrophic trauma, real life, betrayal by a friend, a parent who never acknowledged harm, a colleague who took credit, a partner who left badly. He measured cortisol levels, blood pressure, and something he called rumination frequency, how often the grievance story replayed spontaneously. What he expected was that forgiveness, if it helped at all, would reduce emotional distress over time. Gradually, the way grief softens. What surprised him was the speed and the physiology. Participants who moved through a structured forgiveness process showed measurable drops in cortisol and blood pressure within the study period. And the rumination, the automatic replaying, reduced significantly. Not because they had decided the harm was acceptable, but because the nervous system had stopped treating the memory as an active threat. That is the key finding. The unforgiveness response is not just emotional. It is a chronic stress state maintained by the body. And the body cannot distinguish between a threat that is happening and a threat that is being remembered with full emotional charge. Here is how this operates in your daily life, and why the cost is higher than it looks from the outside. Think about your morning. Before you have done anything consequential, you check your phone, read something that reminds you of that person or situation, and a low-grade activation begins. Not enough to name, just enough to narrow your thinking slightly, to make the day feel heavier before it has started. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for clear thinking, creative problem-solving, and genuine presence with other people, functions best in a low cortisol state. Chronic activation, even low-level chronic activation, reduces its efficiency. You are not imagining that you feel less clear, less generous, less available on the days the old story surfaces. The neurological cost is real. Now think about a conversation later in that same day. Someone needs something from you. A friend, a colleague, a child, and you are giving them the version of you that has already spent some of its resources on a loop that started before breakfast. The resentment is not just between you and the person who caused it. It is present in every room you enter while you are carrying it. Every major contemplative tradition arrived at forgiveness independently and without comparing notes. The Buddhist concept of releasing attachment to harm. The Christian theology of grace extended without earning. The Stoic practice of recognizing that what happens to you and how you carry it are different problems. The Vedic understanding that holding anger binds the one who holds it, not the one it is aimed at. These traditions did not have cortisol measurements. They had centuries of watching what resentment does to a human life over time, and they kept arriving at the same place. The unforgiveness is heavier for the carrier than for anyone else. What Luskin's work did was not to replace that intuition. It gave it a mechanism. The traditions were observing the biological reality without the biological language. The stressed body, the narrowed life, the replay loop, those are not spiritual metaphors. They are what the traditions were looking at all along. You do not have to choose between the ancient knowing and the modern measurement. They are pointing at the same thing from different distances. Here is the tool. And it is important to be precise about what forgiveness means here, because the word carries confusion. Forgiveness in Luskin's framework is not reconciliation. It does not require contact with the person. It does not require that what happened was acceptable. It does not erase the record. It means something much more specific, releasing your nervous system from the job of maintaining active threat status for a wound that is no longer incoming. The practice he calls heal has 4 steps, and the one most relevant to this mechanism is the first. Take the grievance story out of your personal narrative and recognize it as a human experience, not unique to you, not evidence of your particular curse, a human thing that happened in your particular life. The concrete practice for today is this. The next time you feel that tightening, that moment when the old story surfaces before the monologue begins, notice the physical sensation first, just that. Where is it in your body? What does it actually feel like, separate from the words? You are not bypassing the emotion. You are interrupting the loop at the point where the body escalates it into a full stress cycle. That pause, just the noticing, is enough to reduce rumination frequency. Luskin's data supports this. The loop requires momentum. The noticing breaks the momentum before the cortisol climbs. Do this once today. Once is not nothing. The nervous system updates through repetition, and repetition begins with 1. At the start of this video, there was a tightening, a name, a place, a song, and the question underneath it: why does the body keep paying for something the mind already understands? Here is the answer. The body is not keeping score for justice. It is running a threat detection program that was never told the threat is over. It is doing its job, and it will keep doing it until it receives different information. The unforgiveness response is a chronic stress state. Luskin measured what it costs. The traditions mapped what it does to a life. The tool is simple. Interrupt the loop at the level of sensation before the story takes over, and you begin giving the nervous system the only information that updates it. Not forgiveness as surrender. Forgiveness as a biological instruction. You are not letting anyone off. You are letting yourself out. The adjacent question this raises: if resentment is one chronic stressor the body stores as an active threat, what else is the nervous system running on that same loop without your awareness? Follow harmonic abundance. There are other programs like this one, and now you know how to read them.